New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. And hello again, dear ones. Dr. Robert with you here on a Friday evening. It's 5 o'clock on the Mountain Time Zone, and that means it is time for our good news. This opportunity, I love it every week. I love being with you when we get a chance to take a look at some of the good news stories that are happening around the world. By all means, please feel free to chime in, chat along, be part of the conversation as we go along here tonight. You can drop a comment in the comment box at any time. We'd love to hear from you. All right, first up tonight, in wake of last week's presidential election and all the other elections, it's not all unique and interesting news. There is good news going on in Rhode Island. Voters agree in a landslide to invest in the environment. This was question number 4 on their ballot there in Rhode Island, and it passed by a 3-to-1 margin to invest $53 million in green bonds and use the money for farmland and forest preservation. Now, yes, Rhode Island is the smallest state in the union, and land has always been at a premium. However, before World War II, nearly the whole state was farmland. The green bond here receives the highest level of approval on all of the bond questions of the ballot. It won in all 39 cities and towns in the state. The bond will lead to meaningful investments in climate resilience and the protection of farms, forests, and open spaces. All of it will benefit the bay and the watershed itself. Specific projects haven't been stipulated, although for a couple of specific earmarks that have already been put in there and written in there. But good news, Rhode Island. Thank you for being a part of the good word that's happening here. Hey, this is a story I found interesting, and especially if you live anywhere in the southern coastal states of the United States, it turns out that there's a very specific type of home built by a company called Deltec Homes that is turning out to be rather resistant to hurricanes. This one that you're looking at, owned by Gene Tiener, it's one of 3,000 along the Gulf and Atlantic coast in the U.S. that have been built by Deltec Homes over the years. And what they do is they utilize basic principles of aerodynamics. Their homes are cylindrical and sit on stilts that reach deep into the bedrock below. Couple that with the conical sized roof, it means there's no surface where the wind can gain enough purchase to push the structure down. Inside the home, roof and floor trusses span the building like spokes on a bicycle wheel and radiate energy out across the whole skeleton rather than allowing forces to build up in any one specific or fixed point. They are designed to withstand homes of up to 190 miles per hour, and that's just a little below the strongest storm ever recorded in the Northern Hemisphere. What a great idea. What a great story. Now, Deltec will work with a homeowner to come up with a design that suits them, their location, and their specific weather patterns. And the process of building the house will take around a year because of the prefabrication and assembly that happens, and another initial 8 months for initial design and prefabrication as well. So it's not something you just whip up in an instant, but luckily, it's not something that'll get blown over in an instant either. You like what I did there? Good news with Deltec Homes. Hey, folks, we get most of our stories over at the goodnewsnetwork.org. They do a great job of curating fabulous good news stories. We encourage you to drop over onto their site, say hello, check out some of the good news that they're sharing, and give them some of the love and attention that they deserve. Good work over there on the Good News Network. All right. Here's a story that we found coming out of Kenya in Africa. This is on the edge of the Sparrow National Park. African honeybees are being used as an environmental fence type agent. The problem is the elephants, and would come storming in during different seasons and ruin farmers' crops and livelihood. Elephant conservation has been dramatically successful in the area, and the population of elephants has risen by over 300% in the past decade, 2 decades now. So that's great news. However, they needed a way to keep the elephants from, again, destroying people's crops. To combat this, the charity Save the Elephants is working to turn villagers into beekeepers. Now, it cost almost $1,000 to get started, which is a major investment. However, they have been able to recruit 49 beekeepers so far, and the honey that's produced is a valuable commodity for the community. The elephants, however, are scared away by the humming of all the hives, and the hives that have been installed by Save the Elephants are hung from greased wire so that the badgers can't get to the hives. And if the badgers try, that just sets off the entire hive and makes it even so that they'll attack the badgers. I love how nature works. What a great idea. And good news for the farmers across Kenya and for the elephants. If they play it smart, they stay away, they don't hurt anybody, and then they don't have anybody upset with them. Here's an interesting story. We're going to go all the way from Africa to outer space, and I found this really interesting. Japanese engineers just created a wooden satellite called Lingosat. It's going to launch in the summer of 2025. You heard me right, a wooden satellite. Now, the mission is meant to be a demonstration of the capabilities of wood to live long and prosper in the vacuum of space. And it turns out, as you might know, there's no oxygen, so there's no way for the wood to be set on fire. There's no moisture to cause it to rot, and no microbes to eat away at the wood. The biggest risk is the structural integrity of the lignin cells burning up in the atmosphere. And that's what this test is designed to do. Now, all the satellites that re-enter the Earth's atmosphere burn and create tiny aluminum particles, which will float in the upper atmosphere for many, many years. Eventually, this is believed that it will affect the Earth's environment. Lingosat was built from magnolia wood, and that's been based on years of testing of various environments and conditions. These tests also happen on the International Space Center. So the tests overall were performed by the Kyoto University in partnership with one of Japan's oldest incorporated companies, Sumitomo Forestry. One of the head people over there, said Wood's ability to withstand these conditions astounds us. Wood is durable and stable in one direction, but may be prone to dimensional changes and cracking in the other direction, he said. So they're going to test all of this. Now, the image you're looking at is not to actual scale. The size of the satellite they're setting up is about the size of a coffee mug. But I love the idea, and I hadn't thought about it. What a great idea. What if we could send one of these up to kind of like sweep a section of space of the debris that's already up there? And let one of these satellites just kind of be a collector that is designed to go up. This is only supposed to stay up for 6 months as a test. What if we could do that to collect all the other space debris that's up there? I think it's a great idea. And while we're out in space, we report on NASA's Voyager here every so often. Launched back in 1977. It's currently 15 billion miles. That's 24 billion kilometers from Earth. It's well beyond the heliosphere. It said goodbye to Pluto long ago. And over this past summer, what happened? A communication blackout was triggered after a radio command sent by Earth to turn on the probe's heaters. Now, it does take about 24 to 38 hours, 24 to 25 hours for the signal to get from Earth to where this is out in space. And for some reason, the heating command turned everything off, created a failsafe. All power was turned off, and where they went to conservation power. And what that did is it kicked on the S-band radio, which hasn't been used since 1981 due to how far away it is. Kicked on the S-band radio. Normally, the satellite works on X-band radio, this probe. And amazingly, it all worked. It still worked. We sent a signal 15 billion miles away. It didn't do exactly what it was supposed to do, but it proved that we can still communicate even on the backup, the S-band signal. What a great story this is for human exploration out into the cosmos. You may remember we've reported on Voyager previously. It was earlier in the summer when they needed to shut down all the systems and did a hocus pocus with moving files around on a very small computer to ensure they could restart the communications. And that's what started this whole thing happening. So what a great thing that's happening here in our space exploration. Hey, folks, we need to take a quick break. Let a couple of our marketers and advertisers and our friends and us say hello and allow me to take a sip of water. But we've got a whole bunch of more good news stories coming up. Don't go away. Stay with us. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Invite your friends and family to join us. We'll be right back in just a minute with more here on the New Thought Media Network. Stay tuned.
I've been thinking, this volunteer dinner deserves a standout video, something with real impact. But hiring a big production team for just one video? The cost would be huge.
I get it. But have you thought about New Thought Media Network? They do amazing work beyond just broadcast programming on YouTube. They actually specialize in high-quality, one-off productions for events like ours. And I heard they're super affordable.
Really? I didn't realize they did that. So they focus on quality without the premium price tag.
Exactly. Plus, Dr. Robert runs the whole thing, and he's all about making great media accessible. We could get the professional look we need without going overboard on costs.
His sounds perfect. Let's get in touch with Dr. Robert and see if they can work their magic for us.
Well, hello again, dear ones. Dr. Robert here from New Thought Media Network. We'd love to work with you on a custom video for your next event or project. From impactful storytelling to creating a unique avatar for your community or brand, we're here to bring your vision to life, affordably and professionally. Reach out and let's explore what we can create together. Yes, yes, yes. We're back with more of the good news here on the New Thought Media Network. Thanks for being with us on a Friday evening. So grateful that you're a part of what we're doing here, part of what's happening. All right, next up, let me introduce you to Elise Ogletree. Elise has a very interesting Guinness Book of World Records. If you're looking at the headline there, donating almost 700 gallons of breast milk. Yes, that was not all at one time. She had previously broken the record back in 2014 following the birth of her son Kyle, so now all of this started with the birth of her son Kyle in 2010. She was told she could donate extra amounts of breast milk as she was producing more than necessary. She did not know at the time that that was not normal or not ordinary, and that she was overproducing and actually throwing away milk, not knowing there were so many mothers that she could help. She took it upon herself at that point to continue over the coming years with the birth of two more children, and working with two different milk banks across Texas. She was able to donate again just under 700 gallons of breast milk. With all the calculations, they figure that she has helped to feed over 350,000 infants across the state of Texas. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Thank you, Elise, being part of the solution and helping support humanity in this way. Hey, here's one that wow, this just rocks my heart. I think you're gonna find the good in this story as well. I'd like to introduce you to Jacob Handel. Back in 2017, he was living a normal life as the head chef of a restaurant in Boston, Massachusetts. However, in the space of a few weeks, his life turned upside down. He was diagnosed with acute toxic progressive leukemia celopathy. I'm not saying that right, and I'm not going to try again. It's also known as locked in syndrome. Now, locked in syndrome can be caused by brain trauma, infection, or exposure to toxins. It results in slow, complete paralysis. Jacob ended up paralyzed and unable to talk or even to blink for a number of months. By month 5, he was at stage 4, which they said no one has ever recovered from. He told me I would enter. This is Handel's words. The doctor told me I would enter into a coma and pass away. However, he is the first person to recover from this. Now 35 years of age, he says everything has changed after what happened. Everything is much more positive in all regards. So I started this all at age of 27, and now at 35 is back to more like what we would anticipate or label as normal. 8 doctors were standing to deliver Jacob the bad news, and he said it's like being trapped. Your brain is totally intact, but you can't communicate with anyone. He's unable to move or speak. He could hear everything around him, but had no way to let people know he was still there and listening, even to the gossip between nurses who had thought that he was brain dead. At a certain point, he said he began to wonder if he had in fact died and was just hallucinating all of this. However, after about 10 months, some of the nurses noticed he was moving his wrist. They told me to do it again, and he focused everything he could to move his wrist, eventually being able to regain the ability to blink and continue on with rehabilitation, which took another 18 months. By December 2020, he had moved home with 24-hour care. In 2021, he co-founded a mobile app to help out those with disabilities and navigational challenges. Wow. After all of that, Jacob, you are a strong man, and you're now in the record books as well. Folks, we're going to take another real quick break, let our sponsors say hello, but we've got a few more good news stories coming up for you, including our hero of the week. So please stay with us. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for being part of the New Thought Media Network. Please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
And we're back with more of the good news here on the New Thought Media Network. Thanks for spending some time with me on a Friday night. It's always a good time to share more of the good news. You know, if you follow this station at all, or you've watched this program in the past, you know that I find all kinds of interesting stories. And this one just kind of jumped out at me. Now, this is all happening in Seoul, Korea. And going on 10 years now, it's been happening. The municipal government of Seoul collects used furniture from luxury hotels and donates it to low-income earners and homeless city residents. Over the time, the partnership with 14 different luxury hotels in the Seoul metropolitan area have seen 120,000 used furniture items distributed to low-income housing, homeless facilities, and other shelter initiatives. This year, the program has recruited an additional 10 hotel partners, which, along with boosting the amount of furniture collections, will also maintain an employment opportunity pipeline to those who are out of work and in danger of living on the streets. The Seoul government official in charge says, we express our respect and gratitude to the 24 hotels that have helped create a better Seoul through sincere support beyond corporate social responsibility. Sponsored goods from the refurbishment process of luxury hotels will be provided to families with little household goods, which will play a major role in enhancing the self-esteem and satisfaction of low-income citizens. There's something to be said for the value of not only supporting the bottom line of a low-income earner, but also their self-esteem. That's all according to a government document. The sight of well-made pieces of stained wood, brushed zinc, or polished marble may offer an intangible benefit to someone with the stresses of living near the poverty line that direct financial support cannot provide. Once collected, the furniture pieces are held by the city government before being distributed in various locations. What a good story. What a good news. I've always thought, why get so many hotels just renovations just destroy and so much and fills up so much landfill. There's got to be a better way, and there it is. There's part of it. Hey, folks, if you've watched this program, you know that we love our pet stories around here, and here is a great story, a pet story with a happy ending. This all went down over the Halloween time frame. A couple in Arkansas emptied their savings account and their wedding fund to save a 10-month-old dog that had been found stricken on the side of the road. Dylan McKay was leaving work when he saw a Facebook post about a golden doodle that had been seen on the side of the road, apparently injured near his home. He went out looking with a car full of towels and blankets and did find the pooch. She had her back legs were bloodied and broken and was unable to move. With the help of some other passersby, McKay was able to get the dog into his car and took her to the nearest emergency hospital. He said that despite her life-threatening injury, she did not whine, she did not growl, she didn't try to crawl, but she did try to crawl towards Dylan and actually laid her head on his lap. Dylan was later joined by his fiancee, Emily, at the animal hospital. They were told there that there was no microchip that the docs could find, and that all expenses would fall on the young couple. They said, let's go for it. She deserves a chance, and decided they would take care of the dog. They named her Acklin. Now, all told, the medical bills were well over $7,000. However, GoFundMe was set up, and that was up to over 11,000 as of the writing of this story. The family is quite happy, and Auckland is making a great recovery. Good news stories all around. And hey, for most, we often feature our hero of the week. Last week we had a hero of a puppy dog for hero of the week, and this week we do as well, because I found a story. This is Bo. Bo is the winner, is a top dog of Hero Dog Awards for 2024. I did not know this happened. The Humane Society runs an annual competition where they find the hero dog in 5 different categories, including therapy dogs, service and guide dogs, military dogs, law enforcement and first responder dogs, and shelter dogs. The story I had found has Bo here, and the highlights of Bo. He's only 18 months old. He's saved numerous lives and helped a police department in North Carolina track down numerous missing people as well as active criminals. Good job, Bo. Thanks for doing what you do, buddy. And he's only 18 months old. Oh my gosh. And that, folks, leads us up to our big story of the night. It's time, you know it, for our hero of the week. Today's good news comes from Winterville, Georgia. Georgia man says he's lucky to be alive after a complete stranger pulled him to safety from his burning home. David McConnell on the right had been taking a peaceful afternoon nap when he heard some odd popping noises coming from his kitchen. Dismissing the sounds, he drifted back to sleep, and minutes later was jolted awake by the sound of the fire alarm. With smoke quickly overtaking his surroundings, McConnell struggled to the front door, only to realize that the storm door was locked. Just as panic was starting to set in, Dylan Betts, who was driving home from work, had noticed smoke pouring out of McConnell's home. Without a second thought, he pulled over, ran to the front door, and kicked in the locked storm door. Betts braved the thick wall of smoke, calling out into the house. Mr. David luckily heard my voice, and he came right to me, Betts told a local affiliate. He pulled McConnell to safety, helping him breathe in the fresh air outside as emergency responders arrived. When compelled what asked him to risk his life for a stranger, Betts simply responded, "Why not? That's America." His heroic deed deeply touched McConnell and his family, with McConnell's youngest daughter now affectionately referring to Betts as our hero. And yes, Mr. Betts, you are our hero as well here on the New Thought Media Network. Thanks for being a part of what's good in the world. All right, folks, that's about all I've got time for tonight, but please stay with us. Coming up in just a half an hour, it's the Fireside Chat with Pastor Michael Mangus at 6 o'clock. You'll be sure you want to see that. And I'll be back with the evening prayers at 8:15 later tonight as well. Come check that out. with us also. All right, I'm out of here for now. Until next time, I want to wish you peace and richest blessings. Bye now.